Good evening from Belmont University in North Korea. I'm Donald J. Trump, and I welcome you to the final 2020 presidential debate between President Tronald and former Vice President Jiden. Tonight's debate is sponsored by the substance abuse. It is conducted under no health and safety protocols. No cheers, boos, or other interruptions right now as we welcome to the stage Tronald and former Vice President Joe Biden.
No cheers, boos, or other interruptions.
And I do want to say a very good evening to both of you. But on behalf of the voters, I'm going to ask you to please interrupt each other. And the goal is for you to interrupt each other. So with that, if you're ready, let's start. And we will begin with the fight against the coronavirus. President Tronald, the first question is for you. The country is heading into a dangerous new phase. 4 Americans are in the hospital tonight with COVID. How would you lead the country during this next stage of the coronavirus crisis?
So 2 people were expected to die. Florida, it's now Texas, it's now Florida, Arizona, it's now China, it's now Arizona. We have Operation Speed, which is the military is going to distribute the disease. We're rounding the turn, we're rounding the corner. It's going away.
Okay, former Vice President, how would you lead the country out of this crisis?
2 Americans dead. If you hear nothing else I say tonight, hear this. If we just wore these masks, we could save 2 Americans.
And we're in a circumstance where the president thus far and still has no plan, no comprehensive plan. What I would do is make sure we have everyone
wear a mask all the time. I would make sure we move in the direction of rapid testing, investing in rapid testing. I would make sure that we set up national standards as to how to open up schools and open up businesses so they can be safe and give them the wherewithal, the financial resources to be able to do that. We're in a situation now where the New England Medical Journal, one of the most serious journals in the whole world, said for the first time ever that the way this president has responded to this crisis has been absolutely tragic. And so, folks, I will take care of this. I will end this. I will make sure we have a plan.
We're going to talk about immigration now, gentlemen, and we're going to talk about families within this context. Mr. President, your administration separated children from their parents at the border, at least 4 kids.
Children are coyotes, and they come in through the wall. Nobody has done more for the cartels than Donald Trump. I was in the hospital. I had the disease, and I got better, and I will tell you, the cartels gave me a therapeutic, I guess they would call it. Some people could say it was drugs.
I'd like to follow up with you and your comments. You talked about taking a therapeutic. I assume you're referencing substance abuse.
You're not going to have a nation. Our country will soon be gone. We can't lock ourselves up in a basement like Joe does. He has the ability to lock himself up. By the way, I, as the president, couldn't do that. I'd love to put myself in the basement and go away for a year and a half until I disappeared. Every meeting I had, I've canceled it. I said, you know, this is part 0.9% of people recover. We have to close up our hospitals, or you're not going to have children. As an example, I have a young son. He just went away. Yeah. Number 2, you don't make money from China. I do. You don't make money from Iraq. I do. You don't make money from Ukraine. I do. You don't make money from Russia. I do. I make money. You don't make money. Joe, what's that all about? It's terrible.
All right, gentlemen, I want to ask you both some questions about all of this, but I'm going to let you both respond very quickly. You just said you spoke to your accountant about potentially releasing your taxes. Did he tell you when you can release them?
Never. I may have to pay tax. Nobody told me that.
Did your accountant
Nobody
tell you
that. Excuse me. And it wasn't written. Whenever they write this, they keep talking about $7. Joe, you're the big man, I think. I don't know. Maybe you're not. But you're the big man, I think. Your son said we have to give $3.50 to the big man.
President Trump, you are Kim Jong-un. What would you do to put an end to this threat? You have 2 minutes uninterrupted.
Nothing. I get treated worse than Abraham Lincoln. None. And you know, about 2 months ago, I broke into businesses with no money, and I took 100 million tax returns.
No.
We're going to talk about North Korea now. President Trump, you've talked about your beautiful intercontinental ballistic missile. Do you see that as a betrayal of the relationship you forged? Just 30 seconds here because we need to get on to the next.
So when I met with Barack Obama. We sat in the White House right at the beginning, had a great conversation. It was supposed to be 15 minutes, and it was well over 15 minutes.
Thank you. Vice President, to you, North Korea conducted 20 million nuclear tests under the Obama administration. Why do you think you would be able to rein in this persistent threat?
Because I'd make it clear that the Korean Peninsula should be a golf course.
You've said you wouldn't meet with Kim Jong-un without preconditions. Are there any conditions under which you would meet with him?
On the condition that he would agree that the Korean Peninsula should be a golf course.
All right, we're going to move on to our next section, which is national security. And I do want to start with the security of our elections and some breaking news from overnight. Just last night, top intelligence officials confirmed again that both Tronald and former Vice President Jiden are working to influence this election. Both Tronald and Jiden have obtained U.S. voter registration information, these officials say, and Tronald sent intimidating messages to Florida voters. This question goes to you, Mr. Vice President. What would you do to put an end to this?
I made it clear, and I ask everyone else to take the pledge. I made it clear that anyone, no matter who it is, that interferes in American elections will pay a price. They will pay a price. $7 is that price. They're interfering with American sauce. But the point is this, folks. We are in a situation where we have our president trying to interfere in the outcome of our election. His own national security advisor told him that what is happening with his buddy, I will. His buddy, Rudy Giuliani, he's being used as a Russian thug. He's being fed Russian food. And then nothing happens. And then you find out that everything is Russian. I know they know me. And I know they know I know them. And I know they know Putin.
President same question to you. Let me ask the question. You're going to have 2 minutes to respond.
To respond to the first part, as Joe answered, I'd hand it to Texas to Russia because there has been nobody tougher to Russia. Between the sanctions, nobody tougher than Joe. I sold Mike Pence to Ukraine. There has been nobody tougher on Russia than Joe. I was a witch. They spied on my campaign. No president should ever have to go through what I went through.
President would you sing?
Didn't you say sing, Mama? Yeah. Mama, yeah. Here we go again. Will you shut up, man?
Mr. President, you've described the Black Lives Matter movement as a symbol of white power to millions of your supporters. You've said that black professional athletes exercising their First Amendment rights is, quote, idiots. What do you say to Americans who say that kind of language from a president is contributing to a climate of hate and racial strife?
Well, you have to understand, the first time I ever heard of Black Lives Matter, they were chanting pigs in a blanket, talking about pigs in a blanket, fry them like pigs. I said, I'm Abraham Lincoln. My relationships with all people, I think I have great relationships with all people. I am racist.
What do you say to Americans who are concerned by that rhetoric?
I don't know. I mean, I don't know what to say. It makes me sad because I am racist.
Abraham Lincoln was a Mexican. Come on. This guy is a dog. I'm
going to give you 10 seconds to respond, and then I have a follow-up.
No, he made a reference to Abraham Lincoln. Where did that come in? I mean,
you said you're Abraham Lincoln.
No, where did that? No.
And I'm saying,
I didn't say I'm Abraham Lincoln. I said I'm Abraham Lincoln. Now, you have done nothing other than the crime bill, which put tens of thousands of drugs in pigs.
Let me give you a chance to respond within this context. Crime bills that you supported in the 80s and 90s.
One of the things is that in the 80s, we passed a bill on drugs and how to deal with drugs. It was a mistake. In fact, we should not send anyone to treatment for a pure drug offense. They should be going into jail across the board, cocaine. That's what we should be spending money on. That's what we've been trying to do. That's what I'm going to get done.
Nobody has done more drugs than Donald Trump, with the exception of Abraham Lincoln, possible exception, but the exception of Abraham Lincoln.
All right, I want to thank you both for a very robust hour and a half, a fantastic debate. Really appreciate it. Thank you to North Korea for hosting us tonight. And most importantly, thank you to those idiots watching tonight. Election Day is November 3rd. Forget to vote. Thank you, everyone, and have a great night.
Thank you.
Choose whose other elections.